Hello everyone, how are you doing? Hola a todos, ¿cómo están? Soy Lucas Gordon acá desde Hollywood, California, con un invitado especial. Es una banda que me encanta. Ellos se forman, la formación actual es Reggie Boo en guitarras, Mark Evan en voz, Dave en baterías, Steven Perry en guitarra y Jaron Gulino en bajo. Ellos son nada más y nada menos que los Heaven Age. Han sacado varios discos que voy a mostrar ahora. Bueno, yo tengo algunos acá y vamos a estar hablando ahora con nada más y nada menos que su vocalista Mark Evans. Mark, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on today.
Always, always. Thank you for taking your time
Of
to
course.
talk with us. And tell me what is going on with the band right now. What are you doing? There's something going on for 2023 or 2024?
Well, for 2023, we do have a new album coming out called Get It Right. Um, that'll be out in the spring of 2023, late in the spring.
Okay.
But we'll be putting a few singles out between now and then. We have 3 singles. One called Had Enough, which will come out first. Then a song called What Could Have Been, which the video and single will come out a few weeks after that. Then a song called When the Lights Go Down. The video and single will come out for that. And then a few weeks after that, the full album will be out, which we
Oh,
are
nice.
thrilled about because we haven't put out a full album beginning to end in 30 some years.
Tell me a little bit more about the new album. What is the name? Do you have any guests?
The only, I guess, real guest on the album is a gentleman by the name of Jacob Bunton, who is a successful songwriter, producer, singer, guitar player, plays every instrument, I think, in the world. He's a very, very talented guy. He helped us out. Reggie and I actually wrote a few of the songs on the record with Jacob. And then we brought Jacob in when it was time for me to do the vocals, and he helped to produce the vocals. And then Jacob and I did a lot of the background vocals together. So he's if there's a guest on there, it's him. He's the only guy outside the band.
The name of the album is
The name of the album is called Get It Right.
Get It Right.
Yes.
El nombre es tomalo correctamente, algo así sería. Agárralo, tenlo correctamente. Music style similar than the past?
Yes, I do believe so. It's an interesting process because like I said, we haven't done this in 30 some years, and Reggie and I do the majority of the songwriting. And for him and I to get together and try and write and still write similar to what we wrote like 30 years ago, because we've been writing in the meantime, but not for a full album, just more for the fun of it. And
Right.
if we came up with something we liked, if we happened to have a show, maybe we'd throw it in there. But once we got signed with Frontiers, we kind of had a little bit more of a purpose. So we were writing and doing our best to write it to sound like we did, even though technology is different. So the sound might be a little bit more modern, but that's really a technical thing more than our style.
Right,
I
right.
think. So I'm hoping everybody feels like it sounds like an old Heaven's Edge record. Only
Okay.
newer.
Mark, tell us about the beginning of Heaven Age.
The beginning was interesting because Reggie and I were both playing in fairly successful bands in clubs in the area here in South Jersey and Philadelphia. But both of us were a little frustrated because we weren't as involved in the songwriting and the creative aspect of the bands that we were each in as much as we'd like to. And shortly after we had met, Reggie had seen run into my girlfriend, now wife, and he was like, "Oh, you're dating Mark Evans. Do you think you could give him my number and see if maybe he'd be interested in writing together?" So she gave me his number, and I called him and we talked, and we got together and wrote. And pretty much the first night that him and I got together and wrote, the chemistry was so strong. It was pretty much at that point we both decided we were leaving the bands we were in, even though we didn't even have a band yet. But we just knew that there was something right about what we were doing, that it was supposed to happen. So, which our bands kind of laughed at us because I was actually working in a successful cover band making good money. And when I went and told them that I was leaving, and they were like, for what? And I was like, well, I'm going to start a new band. They're like, you don't even have a band yet? I'm like, no, but I know this is the right thing to do. And, you know, all these years later to be able to get together with Reggie and still write songs and still have that same chemistry with him, and then to be able to get together with this band and still play this stuff all these years later and still feel that same chemistry and excitement is amazing. But we felt it right from the very first time we sat in a room together to write.
You were friend with Jeff, right? Jeff Labar.
Yes, yes.
How any good memory with him? Let me clarify. Jeff Labar passed away already, and Jeff Labar ha fallecido ya hace unos años.
Yes,
Please.
no, it was very sad when I heard about Jeff. I mean, I've known him for years, knew him back in the day with you know, the different bands that he played in. In fact, the band White Fox that Reggie was in at the time that Reggie and I put together Heaven's Edge, the members of the band in White Fox used to be in a band called Precious Metal, and Jeff was the guitar player with that band. And then turned into White Fox, and Reggie joined them at some point after that.
Wait a minute, Precious Metal, the female band, or just another band?
Precious Metal, they were just another local band.
Another band. Okay.
And though actually someone else of note that was actually in Precious Metal for a while is Tony Harnell from TNT.
TNT, yeah.
He used to live here in the area, and he was actually in Precious Metal with Jeff Labar and all as well. But I actually had the opportunity to do a show, just a one-off. I think it was a benefit, and it was myself singing, Jeff playing guitar, and a couple of other musicians up on the stage, and we just went up and played, you know, some old Aerosmith and Led Zeppelin, just kind of had some fun. I guess that was probably about maybe 10 years ago or so. Yeah, it was, you know, it was very sad to hear about it, his passing. It was so much to, you know, get his life going again after Cinderella, and so it's a shame. Mark,
how people can reach you? We're gonna start wrapping up.
Okay. Well, they can reach the band. We have Heaven's Edge is on Facebook. We're on Instagram and Twitter and all as well. But if they want to reach us, they can message us on Facebook, whether they message the band or message one of us personally.
Okay.
You know, if they have any questions for anything, or if somebody's looking to book us somewhere or do something like that, they can reach out to us there.
Right. Or just to purchase the new CD, right?
Yes. Yes, I need them to purchase the new CD.
Eso fue todo, querida gente. Mark, thank you again. There's more questions. We're gonna do we're gonna have a revenge of our conversation, but I just want to give the fans in Latin America, everywhere in the world, just a glimpse of what is going on with you. Okay.
Oh, sure, absolutely. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much as well.
Bueno, eso fue todo, amigos. Acá, impresionante, Mark Evans. Yeah. y yo le mostré, antes de hablar, le mostré que tenía mi pequeña colección, mi petit colección de CDs de Heaven Age. Así que buenísimo, querida gente. Bueno, seguimos y ahí sigan con más. No se vayan porque hay mucho más contenido por ahí dando vueltas. Soy Lucas Gordon, desde acá, desde Hollywood. Y me despido. Hasta la próxima.